Aloha and welcome back to the channel. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through the Honeycomb Echo settings for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The reason being, I was asked about how to set it up, and I can tell you that the customer support from Honeycomb is beyond non-existent. I can tell you from somebody that is in need of it right now on the Honeycomb Sierra that they probably have the worst customer support you're going to find in flight simulation. When I confronted them about that, I was told, well, our products are just hard to set up. No assistance, nothing on a return or warranty, just our stuff is hard to set up. So they're not going to help you with a lot of this, and the files that they do provide online do not work on the setup. So I'm going to walk through here in 2024 how to actually, there we go. All right. And let's just go back. And we'll go up here to settings, and we'll go to controls. All right. Echo Aviation Controller is here. Now, one thing that's a little quirky, if you know Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, you know that it has a fairly new interface for the control side of things. That's just what I brought up here. So I'm going to show you what's on here, what's set up, what's not. So let's go to flight control surfaces. All right, so elevator trim up and down. We'll start there. So elevator trim up and down is 23 and 24. And if you're not sure where to find the settings I'm showing you here, you can type them in up here in the search field. So if you're looking for elevator trim, you type in, and it'll show you elevator trim. So for the trim controls, which are here, up and down, it's 23 and 24, because even though it's a wheel, it's not an axis, it's two buttons. It's 23 and 24. So elevator trim nose down is number 23. Elevator trim nose up is 24. And that's all there is under control trimming surfaces. So let's back up. Secondary control surfaces, decrease flaps, increase flaps. And again, if I want decrease flaps, so we see down here it was number 17. That's down here, decrease flaps. I went to the cog wheel and came over to the side. You see increase flaps, it responded. Decrease doesn't seem to be responding right now, but it does work. So that's under our secondary control surfaces. Primary control surfaces. All right, so your rudder axis, which is this guy down here, is your joystick R axis X. That's your rudder axis. Joystick R axis X. Again, so I had trouble with this actually showing up when I was trying to assign it. So what I ended up doing is I just typed in rudder axis. and that's what I got. And then I came into here, and on the cogwheel, I figured out which axis was which, and you can assign from this list what you want on the controller. So rudder, joystick R axis X is this back guy here. So even if scanning doesn't work, you can use the cogwheel to assign. Let's go back in and go back to controls, and we'll go back to our Echo and flight control surfaces, and we're back on our primary here, and we had rudder axis X, it's right there, but then we got L axis and L axis Y. So your aileron axis is joystick L axis X. Now, again, to find this, if you just type in aileron's axis, it'll be the only option you have. L axis X, go to the cogwheel, and down here, L axis X. Go back. And then we can just get rid of that. And that brings up everything again. So flight control surfaces, yet again, we're on the primary flight control surfaces. And you have L axis X and L axis Y. It's the exact same thing I just showed you. You go to that cogwheel, you'll come over here, and you'll select that specific axis. Once you've done that, you can actually control the basics of the aircraft. When I say basics, I just mean your yoke and your trimming. Let's just go to assigned. All right, let me make it a little easier here. Now, all lights. Now, I went through and assigned different things. So I have all lights on button number 4. I have my alternator on button number 3, avionics master 3 and 3, set battery. So I basically made it so I could turn a lot of stuff on fairly quickly. Toggle fuel pumps is number 2, magneto starts number 1, and these are all here. Okay, so these 4 here are the 1, 2, 3, and 4 I'm using. The reason I wanted to set like alternator and avionics master 1 and 2 and battery to one switch was I don't have all of the switches that you will have on a switch panel. So I wanted to make it a quick fire up without having to go back to the keyboard. All right, so then we get into our mixture and our propeller and our throttle. So very similar to what we just did for the aileron slant elevator controls. You're going to use the cogwheel here and we're joystick slider Y. Now, mixture is a slider, but propeller and throttle are axes. Why are they named different? I can't tell you. I honestly don't know. But for mixture, which I have my mixture set here, excuse me, my mixture is set here. And I have it set up for GA right now. So under GA, mixture is this third guy over, and that third guy over is joystick slider Y, right there. And again, I would just go to that cogwheel. I would come down here. Joystick slider Y is down here. You select it, and now this becomes your mixture. And it is, I do believe, it's set as an inverted axis because it'll be backwards when it first comes up. Propeller, which is this guy here, is actually joystick R-axis Z. Same thing. Yeah, joystick's R-axis Z under the cogwheel. Come over here on the left and select it. And here's my throttle. Elevator up, elevator down. And then, now these guys are a little weird on gear up, gear down. Now, there's two different ways to do this. One is to scan for it. The other is to use the cogwheel. If you're going to scan on these, you're going to have to go position to position. So you're going to have to shift the position for it to recognize it, and then shift out of the position for it to go back to the menu. So if you want to get to gear down, you start in the gear up position, have it scan, go to gear down, and then go back to gear up, and it will take that number, or in this case, gear down is number 13. So 13 is gear down, 14 is gear up. So to get to gear down, you scan when it's in the gear up position, go to gear down, it takes it, you go to gear up, it's accepted it. For gear up, you'll start in the gear down position, then on a scan, go to gear up, then go to gear down, it accepts it. Or you can just use the numbers I have here. My gear down is number 13. My gear up is number 14. So to do that, again, cogwheel, you can go over here and you can see gear down. Number 13, I just shifted that over. So that's who that guy is. Gear up is number 14. Again, in the cogwheel, you just go to number 14. Set parking brake is 16. And then we get to our left and right brake. Now, on the left and right brakes, I'm actually using, I believe I'm using these guys up here, which are the bumper switches. And that's 6 and 8. So left brake is number 6, right brake is number 8. And you can either scan and hit the button, or you can just use the cogwheel method that I was showing you there. And pan left, pan right, I'm using just the POV to pan left, pan right. Now, I haven't got it to give me a fluid pan, like you can with a mouse. So it's basically a slew, and I'm just kind of leaving it there. But as an overall synopsis, my all lights toggle is number 4. My alternator on is number 3. My avionics masters 1 and 2 are also number 3. My set battery is also number 3. Magneto start is number 1. Now, one thing I cannot do with this setup, which it doesn't bother me, but like if you're doing a run up and you actually want to do left magneto, right magneto, and both, and then go back and check each one and check that slight drop, I can't do that here, at least not the way I'm configured. You could configure this alternatively to have like left magneto, right magneto, both. You could, but I've actually incorporated my lights instead. I also have my fuel pump on there as well as a toggleable control. All right, so let's escape and go back. Escape and save, and let's do a quick free flight with it. And let's just do a quick flight from Groton here. Now, I will put us off the runway just so you can see me using the controls as we go. So I'll put us over here, set that as a departure. And let's start the flight. And here we go. All right. And we are ready to fly. And let's get in the aircraft. All right. So you can just hear it. I'll go down here so you can kind of see it. Now, first off, you can see we do have our control there. Get rid of that so you can see what's happening next. Parking brake. And I could invert that to make it better. See, there's mixture, there's throttle, and that's working. It's really hard to see, but that is moving. So that guy there is moving. And let's look over here at our flaps. Let's get rid of this guy right here. And there's our flaps. And there go our flaps. So flaps are up. I could put one flap in. All right. Now, one thing I didn't have on here that I probably should one day is my fuel selector. So let's turn power on. Turn the fuel pump on. All right. Parking brakes are set. And all right. All right, so then let's and all right. All right. And there we go. I got confused over which one of my controls I had set for a while because I haven't flown this in a couple of probably like a week or two. But this guy at the bottom was my magneto start. This guy at the top was my lights and power. All right. But here we are. So now I can release the parking brake and start moving. Here comes the rudder. You can kind of see here I'm going. I can slow us down a little. Hit the brakes. Horrible job driving by me. Went the wrong way, but I'm going to keep going. Because I'm just kind of demonstrating that stuff works. Not that I can fly well. All right, so hitting our brakes again. Slow us down a little. There we go. All right, and then so we were at full throttle. Airspeed's alive. I've been doing some yoke flying, like actually with a yoke, so a little rusty on the Honeycomb Echo. But you can see it works. And all right, so flaps are up. All right. So And we are slowly gaining altitude right now. I'm going to pull us back a little so you can kind of see. But there you go. That's the basics. That's the Honeycomb Echo. Again, not a great product when it comes to ease of setup. It is convenient as far as the size goes. That's the big thing I've seen that it has going for it is just the portability, and it does come packaged well. The container that actually, I'm going to hit escape for a second. I'll show you, and I've shown it before, but it is a very travel friendly case that it comes with. And this case does hold everything really well. So here you can actually put the dongle, which is already in the computer here in the laptop. You have spaces for these other slider covers, I'm going to call them. But up here are the ones for commercial aviation. Up here, you also have the USB-C cable to USB-A. Fits in there really well as I drop it to the floor. It's very rugged, though, as far as the case goes. Now, I will tell you that I did have to go through quite a bit. The first time I set this up, it was roughly a 30 to 45 minute setup to figure out each one of those axes. Honeycomb will not help you. You can try. All they did to me was go to our forums, our stuff's hard, and that was it. And they walked away. They did the same thing, and I think I mentioned this earlier with the Honeycomb Sierra. My Honeycomb Sierra is broken. The throttle does not work at all. And instead of saying that they're going to support it under warranty, they just tell me our stuff's hard to set up, go to the forum, and they don't acknowledge my emails anymore. So I will tell you that Honeycomb has the absolute worst product support I have ever seen in flight simulation. I almost want to say in any product I've dealt with, because I've dealt with companies that were bad before, but Honeycomb, when it comes to supporting their products, is miserably bad. And I'll give you an example. Anycubic, which makes 3D printers. I have several 3D printers because that's what I use on a lot of my DIY flight simulation stuff. Anycubic is a company in China. Anycubic got back to me within 12 hours of needing help. Now, you could tell it wasn't that English was not their first language, but they busted their butts to help me. They actually sent me lines of code. They told me ways to go in and gave me files to upload into the printer to make it work better. They actually wanted to help me. That's why I love Anycubic as a brand. I will tell you right now, they stand behind their products. They're very good at supporting you. They want to help you. Honeycomb, I can pretty much say, unless there's something life-altering that they decide to bring to the market, I'm not buying another Honeycomb product. I'm just not doing it. I can't get support from them. I've gotten stuff broken from them. I'm not a fan. So if you are in dire need of a portable controller, this could be for you. Otherwise, I would say wave off. I think I've said it before as well. Now, I know that there's a couple new control. There's the Yawman, which is already on the market. And then there's a new one coming, hopefully, from Meridian GMT. Meridian, right now, everything they've got out on their website it's theoretical. It's pre-release. It's stuff that's not ready for prime time yet. But they do have a version of this guy coming out. When it does come out, I'm going to buy the Meridian GMT one. And if it's better, this thing may get sold because I'm telling you, I just am not a Honeycomb fan anymore. I don't know what changed in Honeycomb after their huge shift in ownership, but I don't trust the brand. I just don't. Their customer support has not been there for me. And I've been a customer I bought 2 Honeycomb Alphas. I've got a Honeycomb Bravo. I bought the Honeycomb Sierra. I've got the Honeycomb Echo. So I've spent some money on these guys. And when I need them, they're just not there. So that's my little rant on this subject. Hopefully you've had better luck with them. But that's our setup. That's how you do it. If you have questions, comments, concerns, as always, throw them below. But thanks for watching. Stay safe. And as always, happy flying out there.